Hi everyone, so today I'll be doing a tutorial on this makeup look. It was inspired by a look that Christina Aguilera wore recently for The Voice, and I'll have those inspiration pictures on my blog and that'll be linked down in the description box. So if you'd like to see how I created this look, just keep watching. So as always, I'm priming my eye with Urban Decay's Primer Potion and I'm using that in shade Eden. And the brush that I'll be using for my eyeshadows is the 776 from Bdellium Tools. It's similar to like a MAC 217 where it's a fluffy brush but the ferrule is pinched on one side so it has a thinner shape. So I'll be starting off with my Naked Basics palette from Urban Decay. And the first shadow I'm using is Walk of Shame, which is a pink toned matte cream colour. And I'm buffing that all over the eye area from the lid right up to the brow. This is going to act as my base colour, so it's knocking out any extra pigmentation, and it's also going to help the shadows blend on top a lot easier. And then just to really pack on the colour as an inner corner highlight, I'm using my pinky finger and I'm just applying that in around the tear duct. The next shadow I'm using is also from the Naked Basics palette and it's Naked 2, which is a cool toned light brown. I'm buffing that into the crease and then blending upwards. As this is my crease transition shade, I want it to be visible just above where I'll have my darker crease colour. And then shape wise, it's starting just under where the brow begins on the inner corner and it's winging out right to the outer corner where the brow ends. For the main shadow colour, I'll be using Contrast from MAC. And I'm placing that into the crease and blending out again, following that same winged out shape. And again, you're blending upwards from the crease. You'll want a lot of this shadow to be visible when you're looking straight into the mirror with your brows relaxed. I'm then going to carry some of that shadow from the outer corner down onto the lower lash line. And I'm going to make some very attractive faces while I do that. And just to add a little bit of depth to the crease, I'm taking a small bit of 391 from Inglot on the tip of the brush and I'm placing that right into the crease, right into the fold, so I'm not pulling it up as far as the navy colour. And this shadow is basically just a matte black, it just has a very subtle hint of a blue undertone to it. Then I'm just blending a little bit of the navy colour onto the lid, but I'm just keeping it on the very outer corner, just so that it's not a stark edge right there, it's more of a fade. And then next we'll be moving on to liner. In the picture it doesn't seem that Christina is wearing an obvious liner or anything, but we'll just be applying a thin line to disguise the band of the false lashes. So for I'll be using a 24/7 pencil from Urban Decay in the shade Smoke. It's kind of a dark charcoaly colour, so it goes with the colours and the tones in the eye look. And I'm just running that along the roots of the lashes just to create a very thin line. And just to soften it even more, I'm just running the tip of my brush over that line. Next, I'll just be curling my lashes and applying a quick coat of mascara. And the lashes that I'll be using are the Tyra lashes from our Dell Runway collection. They're a similar kind of style in that they're kind of the fluffy, spiky look, but they're not as long as the ones Christina had, which were quite dramatic, but these were the most similar that I had. And I usually don't wear these kind of spiky styles, it's very different to the lashes that I normally wear, but I actually really liked the effect that they gave, especially with the lower lashes that we'll be applying. And for those lower lashes, we'll be using these individual ones from Eldora Lashes, and they're in the extra small length. And I'm just placing those along the lower lash line so that they're facing downwards. They can be a little bit fiddly, but once you get used to them, they're alright. I'm only applying about 5 or so of them, starting in the outer corner, finishing just past halfway in the eye. And they really do add to that open-eyed, lashy look. The effect of them is actually quite cool. So then I'll just be adding some mascara to my lower lash lines on the very inner corner, just past where the individuals end, so there's not such a strong change from individuals to natural lashes. Next for brows, I'll be using Rimmel's dark brown brow pencil, and as you can see, this is well loved. I've had it for quite a while. I don't normally use pencil anymore, I tend to use brow gels, but the look on Christina, it seems that it was like a pencil or a pencil and a powder, so I wanted to do something a little bit more similar. So I am back to my old favourite, the Rimmel dark brown. So as you can see, I'm just outlining the underneath shape of my brow, then I'll outline the top and then I'll fill in from there. And Christina's arch is a lot sharper than mine. I tend to round my arch on the top edge a little bit, so I tried not to do that and to keep it more angular. So next onto the face. For my brush, I'll be using one from Penny's or Primark, which I think is actually marketed as a contour brush. It's just an angled, fluffy synthetic brush. And for my primer, I'll be using Inglott's Yellow HD Corrective Primer. And that yellow helps to neutralise any redness in the skin. So I have a lot of kind of acne scars and things, and they tend to be quite red. So it just neutralises that and makes them less obvious before I apply any foundation. And this primer also has some mattifying properties, and because I'm oily, that works well for me. Just with the primer on one side, you might be able to see that the red marks on my cheeks are more noticeable on the right side than on the left. For foundation, I'm using Inglott's HD foundation in shade 75. And I'm applying that all over using the same brush, starting on the cheeks where I need the most coverage. I'll then be using Urban Decay's Naked Skin Concealer, and I'll be using this as an under eye concealer as well as a cream highlight. So I'm applying it under the eyes, on my cupid's bow, on the centre of my chin, down the centre of the nose, and then between the brows, carrying up onto the forehead. And then I'm just blending all of that out using the same brush that I did for the foundation and primer. Taking this large powder brush from Real Techniques and MAC's Studio Fix powder in NC30, and I'm applying that all over the face, including those areas I just applied the cream highlight. Sometimes if I want to be quite highlighted and I want to keep that brightness, I'll use a separate translucent powder over those areas. The MAC Studio Fix Plus is a powder foundation, so it will add coverage and it will slightly dull down that brightness. But Christina's makeup wasn't overly highlighted or anything, so it's fine for this look. Moving on to contour then, I'll be taking this M527 brush from Morphe, and it's again pinched at one side and it's kind of tapered at the tip. And then I'm using the NYX contour palette. First I'm taking this warmer shade on the far left, and I'm applying that around the hairline. On Christina, she was quite bronzed around the hairline, so I'm really going in that area. And then I'll be using it under the cheekbone as my first cheek contour shade. I tend to use two. I tend to use a warmer one first like this, so it acts as a bit of a bronzer and a bit of a transition shade, and then I'll go in with a darker one in a second. So to sculpt out the cheeks even more, I'm then just taking a little bit of the darker one on the tip of the brush and going in that same area but less blended and more sharp. And then for blush, I'll be using this E3 Morphe brush. And I'm going into this sleek blush trio in the shade Lace. And I'm using the one on the far right, the Poor Little Smashed one. It's like a bright pinky coral tone. Christina was wearing her blush quite bright, or her artist applied it quite bright. And he also applied it higher than I would normally do. It's up a little bit more onto the cheekbone, and it's also blending a little bit further back, so it's not really on the apple as much at all. For the lip colour then, I'll be using this waterproof lip liner from Flormar in number 229. And I'm first outlining with that liner, and then I'll be filling in the whole lip all over with the shade. And on top of that lip colour, I'll be applying Rimmel's Oh My Gloss in the shade Nonstop Glamour. And this was my first time applying this lip gloss, and I was really pleased with it. It gave a nice high shine, and this range also contains argan oil, and you can feel it when you apply it. It just has a really nice slip to it. And as you can see, I also enjoyed the scent of it. I don't know what it was about the smell, but it just reminded me of something in my childhood. I think maybe like play makeup that I had or something, but whatever it was, I just enjoyed the scent. And then we are done. So that is the finished look. I really hope you like it, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any comments, questions or requests, definitely leave them in the comments. You can also give a thumbs up if you enjoyed by clicking the like button down below, and you can subscribe for future videos as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again. Take care. Bye bye.